Have you ever wondered what really separates the successful from the truly wealthy? Well, it's probably not what you think. Today, we're going to unlock the 7 skills that can build empires, no matter where you start. Let's dive in.
So what is it? Is it some kind of secret formula? Just getting lucky? We're about to get into it, and I think the answer is going to surprise you.
So many people think you need this one-in-a-million revolutionary idea, or a huge pile of cash, or just to know the right people to get rich. But the reality? It's completely different. Wealth isn't about what you have, it's about what you can do. It comes down to skills you can learn, habits you can build, and a mindset you can develop.
Now get this. A study found that 88% of self-made millionaires do one thing every single day. What is it? They read, they learn. And that is not a coincidence. It's a choice. It's a decision to invest in the single most valuable asset they have, their own knowledge.
Okay, so where do we begin? Well, we start at the beginning, with the foundation. It all starts up here, in your head. These first few skills are all about shifting how you see the world to build the right mindset for success.
The very first skill is a massive mental shift. It's problem solving. So many of us are taught to chase money directly, but the wealthiest people, they get that money is just a result. It's the reward you get for solving someone else's problem really, really well. Money isn't the car, it's just the fuel. The real destination is the solution you're providing.
And great problem solving really boils down to 2 key things. First, resourcefulness, which is basically the art of making something out of nothing. And second, adaptability. You got to be willing to pivot and change course when the world throws you a curveball.
And if you want a perfect example of resourcefulness, look at this. At just 12 years old, Elon Musk didn't have a big office or a fancy team. He had a computer, a skill, and his time. And he used those resources to build and sell a video game for $500. That was the seed that eventually grew into Tesla and SpaceX.
But being resourceful is only half the battle. You absolutely have to pair it with adaptability. And the story of Blockbuster versus Netflix is probably the best lesson ever in this. Blockbuster was a giant, right? But they refused to change. Netflix started small, literally mailing DVDs, but they were always ready to adapt. The result? One is a punchline, the other is a $200 billion global powerhouse. That, right there, is the power of adapting.
And this leads us perfectly into our second foundational skill, having the humility to just keep learning. This quote from Tony Robbins absolutely nails it. In a world that's changing faster than ever, your biggest security blanket isn't what you know right now. It's how fast you can learn what's next.
And just look at the real-world impact of this idea. Back in 2014, when Satya Nadella became the CEO of Microsoft, the company had what he called a know-it-all culture. He made it his mission to change that to a learn-it-all culture. And the result? The company's value skyrocketed from $300 billion to over $3 trillion. That's a 10x increase, driven almost entirely by a change in mindset. Incredible.
Okay, so you've got the mindset down. Now what? What do you actually do? Part 2 is all about the strategic moves that let you multiply your efforts and create massive, massive value.
The third skill is maybe one of the most important concepts for building wealth, period. And that's leverage. Look, if getting rich was just about working hard, every construction worker would be a billionaire. Leverage is the secret sauce. It's what separates trading your time for a paycheck from building a system that makes money for you.
And leverage really comes in 3 main flavors. There's capital, using money to make more money. There's people, building a team to get more done than you ever could alone. And today, maybe the most powerful of all is code and media, creating things like software or content that work for you around the clock, 24/7, all over the world.
All right, now for our fourth skill. And you have got to hear this story. 2 of the richest people on the planet, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, were at a dinner party. And someone asked them to, independently, write down the single most important word for success. When they showed their answers, they had both written the exact same word: focus.
And that is the whole idea. Getting ahead isn't about juggling a million different things and being busy. It's about finding the one thing that matters most and going all in on it. It's about deep work. In a world that is designed to distract you, your ability to truly focus, well, that's your superpower.
So you've got the mindset, and you're taking the right actions, but how do you make sure it all lasts? This final set of skills is all about building wealth that stands the test of time.
The 5th skill is influence. Think back to 2007. When Steve Jobs got on that stage to unveil the very first iPhone, he didn't start with tech specs. He started with this giant, world-changing statement. He wasn't just launching a gadget. He was telling us the future was here. And that is the heart of influence. He didn't sell a phone. He sold a vision. He knew that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. They weren't just lining up for a phone. They were lining up to be part of the future. That's how you build a loyal tribe, not just a list of customers. Now for our sixth skill, patience. And wow, there is no better story than Amazon for this. For nine straight years, the company lost money. Can you imagine? The investors were screaming, but Jeff Bezos wasn't playing for the next quarter. He was playing the long game, building an entire ecosystem. And that patience turned a money-losing bookstore into a trillion-dollar empire.
This right here is the magic of compounding in action. Just think about this for a second. 90% of Warren Buffett's entire net worth was earned after his 50th birthday. His true secret wasn't just being a genius stock picker. It was time. It was staying in the game long enough for the snowball to get huge. Patience really is the ultimate advantage.
Okay, and finally, our seventh skill, building systems. So what's this number, 35,000? Well, that's roughly the number of Starbucks shops around the world that can serve you the exact same latte whether you're in Seattle or Singapore. That's not an accident. That is the magic of a repeatable, disciplined system.
Phew. Okay. We have covered a ton of ground. But you know what? Knowledge is totally useless if you don't do anything with it. So, I want to end this with a direct challenge for you. Here they are, one last time. The 7 skills. Problem solving, the humility to self-educate, leverage, focus, influence, patience, and building systems. Each one of these is a pillar you can use to build real, lasting wealth.
So here's my final question to you. Don't try to tackle all 7 at once. That's a recipe for disaster. Just pick one. For the next 7 days, which single skill are you going to focus on developing? Decide on that and let that be your first step. Thanks for tuning in.